Update. Would I be the arsehole if I tell HR about my past with a new co-worker? Original post. I, 34 male, am a lead developer on a team of a mid-sized company that has around 100 or so employees. Basically, we are large enough that there are employees we can see, recognize, but not necessarily know their names. Recently, we had a new hire, Krista, 33 female, who joined the project management part of the project I am working on. I have a history with Krista from college. In college, I was a lot more in my own shell. I didn't really treat myself well and was very much the introverted nerd, down to bad posture and poor fashion sense. Krista, she did have quite a few friends in college, but at least, in my view, she wasn't super popular, but she was well liked and was conventionally attractive. We shared a few classes together, and one day she asked me for some help on an assignment. I helped her on it and we talked, and from the sound of things, she seemed generally friendly to me. I helped her on a few more assignments, and finally, she asked me if I wanted to meet her after class at a coffee shop and talk. I said, sure, and when I got there, Krista was nowhere in sight. I waited about 20 minutes before I called her. She answered and started laughing, and I heard several other voices laughing, Krista saying something like, "Why would I want to date a fat loser like you?" I looked out the front window of the shop and saw one of Krista's friends holding up her camera phone, and it looked like she was recording. Next few weeks, there were jokes about me, flyers with my face from the coffee shop, vid plastered up with "creep" in bold letters on top. I kept my head down, and within a month, the next big thing popped up on campus and I was forgotten. It didn't stop Krista and her friends from going, "Eee, creep," when they saw me. But I guess for the rest of the campus, it got old. So I never got accused of anything, or even really ostracized by the rest of the student body. After college, I did learn about self-care a bit better. Plus, I usually am with other programmers, so I don't really stand out as a social outcast. When Krista was introduced to our team, I don't think she recognized me. And it's only been a week, but I want to know if bringing up the college incident is even worth it for HR. Most of my rational brain really wants to just let this go, treat Krista as a new person, and get on with me. But I have a small fear that she might tell a skewed version of the college events and sour the team I'm on against me. So I should at least disclose it to HR, so in case she starts telling lies, I have recourse. Reddit. Would I be the asshole if I told HR about my past with Krista? My opinion for OP. Oh, people can be so mean, and what Krista did to you was appalling. You have my sympathy, OP. And now you are about to face your antagonist in a business setting. And aside from the emotional trauma this will cause you, you are worried she might revert to type and say untrue things about you. Now, I know this won't be easy for you to do, but you could take control of the situation and take back your power by talking with her privately. Tell her how you feel about what happened. Hopefully, she'll apologize to you and you can move on. If her reaction disappoints, you can then go to HR. I know this happened privately and it's in the past, but now you're both working in the same business environment, it's crossed over into the professional life you both have, and that's why HR should know if you can't get any satisfaction after talking with her. Now for the updates. Update 1. Yesterday, some things happened, some bad, mostly good. There were mixed responses, most telling me to tell, but one HR professional saying I shouldn't. Due to the mixed messaging, I did consult a local employment lawyer. The lawyer told me that I should make HR aware of the past I have with Krista, but make it clear that there was never anything disciplinary acted upon in college. He asked if my job had a copy of my transcript, and I verified that it did. Lawyer asked if there were any third parties that would verify the harassment and see if I could get their names and contact details if needed. I knew 2 people back in college that I still had on my LinkedIn and was certain they would tell the truth. So we were good there. Lawyer told me to just request a meeting with HR and my supervisor. Say there was a past with Krista, There were never any charges or disciplinary action, and I have 2 witnesses if they ever need verification. So that was what I did. Friday morning, I came into the office and sent HR and my supervisor an email requesting a formal meeting at 10 a.m. My supervisor came to my desk and asked if everything was okay and wanted to make sure I was happy. I told him everything was fine, I wasn't leaving, and it wasn't anything with him or the team. He seemed relieved, and by 10 a.m. we rolled into the conference room with the HR officer. I thanked them both for taking time out of their day to meet me, and then I did as my lawyer instructed. I said that the new project manager, Krista, was someone I went to college with. She participated in harassment of me in college, detailed how I never had any charges or disciplinary action, and that I had 2 independent witnesses that saw the harassment and gave their contact information. My supervisor seemed shocked, and the HR officer went through the info I gave her for a minute, and then the 2 of them talked for a minute too. Finally, Krista was called in. When Krista walked into the conference room and saw me, HR and the team supervisor, she seemed shocked. HR started with something like, "We have been told you 2 have a past." Krista sat down and looked pretty shocked throughout. She did admit to the bullying, but tried to reframe it as a misunderstanding repeatedly. She never outright said what the bullying was, but then she was told that since this was an incident in both our pasts that nobody wants brought up again, that it should stay dead. HR made it clear that this is not to be a funny water cooler story to share. Krista and I both agreed to that, but Krista still looked shaken. Noon was coming up. Right when the meeting was wrapping up, my supervisor and HR again reiterated, neither of us is to breathe a word about the college incident. We're professionals and we're here to do a job. I went to the break room for lunch and actually, I felt like my appetite has finally returned. The last few days were stress-starving me, to be honest. I sat at a table with the rest of the development team and we started eating. Halfway through my sandwich, another co-worker, Sandy, 30 female, came by and said, "So, I heard an interesting story yesterday about you and Krista," with a big grin on her face. She didn't get any further because my supervisor was at our table, stood up, pointed at Sandy and across the room at Krista and said, "You 2, conference room, now." I wasn't privy to what happened in the conference room, but I did see the HR officer go into the room 2 minutes later, looking pretty pissed and with a mustard stain on her shirt. I guess she got the call and was interrupted during lunch. Not sure what went on. The rest of my team asked what that was. I said, "I have no idea," and just kept eating. 5 minutes later, 2 more co-workers on other parts of the project were brought into the conference room. Lunch ended and we went back to work, but speculation was high. It wasn't until 3 that the conference room finally emptied. Krista looked like she was crying, and the others that were in the room with her seemed to treat her quite coldly. Not sure what this will mean, but it appears for now Krista is still working here. But I appreciate the lengths HR and my supervisor are taking to ensure this won't blow up any further. Update 2. Monday wasn't a shit show, so that was good. My supervisor and the HR officer did bring everyone on the team into the big conference room. The HR officer said that we are a professional company and while we do like to have fun, there are company outings like golf, bowling, main event. We are to be strictly professional and not gossip about other co-workers' personal lives. Sandy and the 2 other co-workers who were brought into the conference room Friday looked pretty ashamed during this. Krista was sitting at the other end of the conference room table, and there seemed to be a noticeable distance between her and the other employees. My supervisor said he wants to consider this matter closed and for us to get back to offering great solutions to our clients. Everyone filed out of the conference room and went back to work. Lunch on Monday was pretty tense. But Tuesday, management had a local Mexican place bring in a Taco Tuesday for us, and the mood improved considerably. I don't gossip, but I did hear murmurs that Krista is now in her final warning and put on a performance improvement plan all within her first 2 weeks. Not sure how true these rumours are, but with how isolated Krista now appears to be to the rest of the team, it is clear that everyone else is not willing to socialize with her beyond their work functions. I considered this matter closed myself, and if Krista worked hard and got her redemption arc, I'd have been fine with it. But then, last night, something happened. Not sure where Krista got my address, but she was outside my house last night, and luckily, my doorbell camera caught it, so I can pretty accurately transcribe it. She rung and asked if we could talk. I said through the digital doorbell there was nothing to talk about, and she better leave because this is now harassment. She pleaded for me to come outside and discuss it. I declined and emphasized she's not welcome. She then said she had a crush on me in college, that her friends found out. She asked me to coffee and pressured her to turn it into a harassment campaign, and she was afraid of them disowning her for liking a guy like me. Guys, I wanted to laugh so effing hard. I was socially awkward back in college, but even I knew this was bullshit. Hell, I wasn't even interested in Krista for a date. I thought she wanted to be my friend. I told her that I didn't care what she has to say. She has to leave. She told me I could just ask Sandy what she told her and it would clear all this up. I declined and said that this matter in the office is now closed. Krista finally made an exaggerated sigh and walked off. I took the video recording from the doorbell and sent it to the employment lawyer and will give it to my supervisor and HR today. I will be shocked if she will last longer than this Friday now. Final update. Krista is fired. I didn't even have to send HR the doorbell cam vid, but I did send it to the lawyer I was talking to. Lawyer is drafting a cease and desist and potentially a restraining order if needed. Krista somehow got my address from someone in IT. The IT new hire is suspended because of this data breach, and everyone got a memo about data security yesterday morning, including the usual about phishing scams. Krista's desk was empty when I came in yesterday morning, and since I'm taking the necessary legal steps, I'm considering this matter closed. Story 2. My girlfriend cheated on me with her ex at our engagement party. So I've been dating this girl, let's call her Jenna, for about 3 years. Things were going great, or at least I thought they were. We've had our issues, like any couple, but I was head over heels for this girl. A couple of weeks ago, I decided to take the plunge and propose. I went all out, fancy dinner, roses, the whole 9 yards. She said yes, and I was on cloud 9. Now, here's where things start going off the rails. We decided to throw an engagement party to celebrate with our friends and family. We rented out this nice little venue, invited everyone we knew, and got ready to party. The night starts off great. Good food, drinks flowing, everyone's having a blast. I'm mingling, talking to friends I haven't seen in a while, when I notice Jenna's been missing for a little too long. At first I'm like, whatever, she's probably chatting with someone. But then I start to get this weird feeling in my gut. So I start looking around for her. I check the bathroom, the bar, even the dance floor. Nothing. I'm getting a little worried now, so I decide to step outside to see if she's out there. As soon as I walk out the door, I hear these muffled voices coming from behind one of the bushes by the side of the building. I quietly sneak over and, as I get closer, I hear Jenna's voice, followed by a guy's voice. My heart's racing at this point. I peek around the bush and there she is, Jenna, making out with some dude I don't recognize. I'm frozen in place, trying to process what the hell is going on. Then I hear her say, "I've missed you so much. I can't believe we're doing this at my engagement party." I kid you not, my brain short circuits. Engagement party? Who the hell is this guy? I stand there, just watching in shock as they start getting even more, affectionate. Here's where it gets even crazier. I step out from behind the bush and I'm like, "What the actual F, Jenna?" She jumps a mile and spins around, looking like she's seen a ghost, and then the guy turns around, and it's her ex-boyfriend. The same ex she told me she hadn't spoken to in years. The same ex she said was totally out of her life. I'm standing there, watching my fiancée make out with her ex-boyfriend at our own engagement party. I feel like I'm in a bad soap opera. The dude has the audacity to look at me and go, "Bro, I'm sorry man. This wasn't supposed to happen." Wasn't supposed to happen? Jenna starts crying, trying to apologize, saying it was just a moment of weakness and that it didn't mean anything. Meanwhile, I'm trying to figure out if this is real life or some kind of messed up dream. I just turned around and walked back inside, leaving them standing there. I grabbed a drink and tried to act normal, but inside, I was losing it. I didn't want to cause a scene at the party, so I didn't say anything to anyone, but I was dying to just scream. The rest of the night was a blur. I kept replaying the whole thing in my head, trying to make sense of it. The next morning, she came home all apologetic, begging me to forgive her. She tried to convince me that she was just overwhelmed by the engagement and that seeing her ex brought back old feelings. I couldn't even look at her. So yeah, that's my life right now. I haven't made any decisions yet, but I'm pretty sure I'm not going through with this wedding. I still can't wrap my head around how this even happened. How do you cheat on someone at your own engagement party? I feel like I'm living in some kind of twisted reality TV show. Story 3. I, 34 female, boyfriend, 32 male, boyfriend's parents, 70s, want me to pay a mortgage as a guest? Hey all, I, 34 female, boyfriend, 32 male, is financially supported by his parents, 70s. He is in flight school and it's very expensive, so they help him with his mortgage payments. This has been going on before my time. We have been dating 18 months. He pays condo fees, insurance, and a portion of the mortgage, but they help significantly. It is his condo, and they live in another condo a few streets over. Recently, they noticed I'm spending more time around, maybe 2 weeks of the month, not all at once, and he spends time at my apartment as well, about a similar amount of time, and uses the amenities. It's a condo, so indoor pool, hot tub, gym, rooftop pool, and nice third spaces to work from in the lobby. We both have keys to each other's places. I have my own apartment that I pay rent in, rent controlled, but still. My boyfriends shared that they suggest I start paying. I'm gobsmacked. We come from different class backgrounds and I've been on my own since 14. I contribute in other ways including groceries, domestic labour. We both clean, but I work more from home so cook often. Additionally, we spoke about what living together could be like, and I expressed concerns over paying someone else's mortgage if we are unmarried, and that I'm not ready to get married quite yet. I find it rude of the parents and overstepping. It makes me feel unwelcome and re-evaluating our future a bit. Edit. For folks saying that paying a lease in my name and transferring someone to pay down their mortgage is the same are mistaken. Unless I'm added to the mortgage, the payments go towards his equity and credit score, not mine. My lease goes to my landlord, who is financially responsible for repairs and other services to maintain the property. A lease in my name is not the same as informally paying towards another person's loan. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this story, please like the video and share your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you.